in education as a senior level higher education administrator and adjunct professor of public administration before re-careering. Now, I had not heard of that word, re-careering. I actually looked it up. It's a really cool word. Have you guys heard re-careering? It's a fabulous word. It means to make a complete change later in life after you've been doing one career. You just shift gears completely. So before re-careering to her own company. She's also been a consultant to Fortune 400 and 500 companies and CEOs in global communities, academic institutions, city and municipal governments, nonprofits, churches, and community groups. Dr. Young has received numerous awards for her expertise in leadership, public policy, teaching, consulting, radio broadcasting, and success coaching. She was recently awarded the 2016 Lifetime Achievement Award of Excellence by President Barack Obama. Yes, let's give her a hand for that, for sure. Dr. Barbara Young's book, Dancing on Broken Legs, A Journey of a Diva, is being released during the first week of May. We've got to get that book. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Barbara Young.
I can't see Galilee. The summer sun starting to peek through my window, letting me know time's up, it's time that we go. Got a bed full waiting and a pocket full of cash, coat full of beer and a little some stash in the back of the car. So relax, there ain't a beat too far. We'll be road tripping rolling with the top down, southbound, little bikinis and white sails. Tank top, gonna let the guns out, all about rocking that farmer's tip. Got the shit going 70, all the girls looking heavenly, but you kick back and chill out ahead of me. Get wild, crazy, never leaving this town. Like there ain't no stopping us now. No telling.
I'm excited, can you? I'm so excited, can you tell? I am living the best days of my life. And I'm excited. And I am so thrilled to be here today. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Robbie. You know, I grew up believing you give honor to whom honor is due. All right, I heard a few amens. That's okay. You know, while I'm talking today, we might go there, okay? But actually, I am so excited to be here, and I know you are too. And I also know that you're here for a purpose, and I tell you this, you're going to leave here different. So tell your neighbor, I will leave here different. I will leave here different. And I will never, ever be the same again. Because I'm going to share some stuff with you today. Are you ready for the stuff? Well, I'm ready, and I was up till 1 o'clock, 1:30 this morning getting ready. Like I don't prepare a speech, because it's been in my heart. You know, life happens. How many of you know life happens? And so many of us in this room are moving from success to significance. Can I get an amen on that? Well, I wanted to kind of share, since it's been a little sort of show and tell today, our share and tell today, and I want to thank you for sharing, Queen. And I want to thank Ursula for sharing as well. All of you have been great, and you're fabulous. All of you are fabulous. Say to your neighbor, I matter. I matter. And so do you. And so do you. So, today, we're actually going to talk about, well, if I can get this clicker going. I look pretty good up there, huh?
It's look pretty good in here.
All right. So, I may need somebody to help me. Where's my assistant? She may need to help me. Ursula? Oh, here she comes. Andre. How many of you know you get to that point in life where you do have assistants, all right? Yeah! Woo! And this is our Andrea Elcott from Canada, one of my assistants in my office. Miss Andrea. So, do the honors because I am going to be all over the stage. I had to change out of my heels, and then my flower is on the floor, but that's okay, I'm cute anyway. You know, you have to feel it, and you have to know it. And when you get to be my age, you're not ashamed about showing it. And I hope that many of you are. You know, one of the things, as we begin slide 1, to talk about moving from success to significance, not too significant. So I wanted to share my early upbringing was pretty normal. In the sense, the family, I was the eldest of 6 children. And I actually learned my first leadership skills from being the one in charge and who would get spanked if the others misbehaved. Anybody want to tell you that? So, my mother handled my real estates very nicely. And so, anyway, it was very normal. But one of the things during the era that I lived in, it wasn't that long ago, but it was that long ago, we were driven almost in pursuit of education. You got to finish high school. You got to go to college. There was no if, and, and but. It wasn't where are you, it wasn't, you know, are you going to college? You know what I'm talking about. It's where are you going to college? So we were all sort of programmed in that lockstep sequence of graduating from high school, you go to college, you get your degree, because it will afford you a quality life. So I was programmed into that sequence early on. My parents taught me the values of integrity, of working hard. You work hard, I learned later you work hard, you work smart. But it was hard work that would get you and guarantee you what? Success. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yes, indeed. So when I began to realize that I was on a career ladder of success, because it was programmed within me, and many of you in this room, to be successful. There was no sense of being a failure. Well, guess what? I went off to college at 15. I went to UC Berkeley at 15. So go, ooh, yeah. I was pretty smart. But there's a reason for that, but that's in my book, so you got to get that so you can read that book. But anyway, I stopped out at 17, got married, had a couple of kids. I married this, well, I won't say famous, but he was, basketball player from France. But anyway, at 17. So by 19, I'm with 2 children and a vanished husband who liked to pollinate on the other flowers. So, I made a decision. And I want to say this too, but because I knew, and something inside of me, as I know within each of you, there is that spirit that you know that you were destined to be successful. How many know what I'm talking about? Even as a little child. And I could not believe that I am standing here today. I almost cried back there when I was saying, Althea, my good friend, I can hardly believe where I am today, owning a television network, a radio TV personality, a talk show host. And I didn't think I was very good at speaking on the radio. I didn't like my radio voice. I hated it. I was an educator. Of course, let's go back to the lockstep sequence. My family were nurses and teachers. So, what was I supposed to be? A teacher. So, I majored in music education, but I went back to school because I was incomplete, I felt, stopping out at 15. I went back to school to finish my bachelor's degree at age 36. So, that person who made up their mind and said they're going back to school, kudos to you, and never stop learning. And that's one of the things why I'm here today, to say that I didn't just stop with the BA. Of course, I thought that's all I wanted to get, was to get the BA and I'm done. But no, I went to school for 7 straight years, worked full-time, got my master's degree. My career trajectory is rising. I'm getting promoted, because I'm really good at what I do. And now I have the credentials. I did not have a clue that I would be going to get my PhD at USC. I ended up at USC when I saw Tommy Trojan. I fell down and cried. I said, I'm on the campus of USC. You know, I was freaking out. Did you know what? I was 49 years old. 49 years young.
That's right.
So I was 51 when I got my PhD. You know why? I was in a hurry. I wanted to be here. So some of you know that your destiny is tied into your choices. You choose. I did not know, and I sort of regress a moment, how important your choices are. No matter how you were born, where you were born, to whom you were born, I realized I could rewrite the script. Whatever was handed to me at birth, I did not have to accept. Circumstances that happened with the banished husband. Oh yes, it was the second marriage. We won't talk about that one. But, and a third. Who's counting? You get it? You get it right. You do it till you get it right. So here I am on a college campus, going back, and guess what? How many of you ladies know that sometimes you have to distance yourself from even your friends and family in order to pursue your destiny, your purpose? I knew I had a purpose. I had girlfriends at the time who had masters and their doctorates and said to me, why are you going back to get a doctorate at your age? Oh yeah, you've heard some comments. But you know, you really know sometimes that's your brand. What do people say about you when you leave the room? Sure. So one thing, I said, well, they said, well, how old will you be? And that's a lot of money if you go to USC. That's very expensive. And I wasn't on scholarship. I said, well, it's a 3-year program, and I'll be out of that campus, let's see, 51. 51? You're going to spend all of that money. You already have a good job. I'd gone from executive assistant to a president to a director of a program. I became the first African-American woman as a statewide dean in a 23-campus system. I'm now managing a $63 million budget for the 23 campuses. I'm at the top of my game, right? And I'm getting this doctorate that's going to what? Cement the deal, right? Because no one at that level did not have a PhD. So I was hired with 15 units under my belt. And I completed that dissertation in 8 months. And I remember my friends who were wanting to celebrate, and I did accomplish it at 51. How many of you know sometimes you need a little stimulus of the naysayers to just get your butt in here? Oh, she'll never be anything. She'll never make it. So because they said 51, yes, I had it at 51. Say to your neighbors, 51. Now, none of this is a boast. None of this is a boast. But it's the incredulous opportunities that were given to me to make choices. Because with it comes sacrifices. One of the things that I talk to many people all over the world, in particular women, about chasing that ladder of success. Sometimes you're climbing that ladder rung after rung after rung to get to the top and say, the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Because you've given up relationships, your family, your husband, you know, your friends, because you're on a journey. And sometimes we forget. And I know of cases of women who said, my children weren't attended to because I was so busy, what? Climbing, because everything in America is about success. People come here from many countries because it's the land of opportunity and success. Am I telling the truth? Yeah. And success is defined by many people as money, position, that's my, what I call money, position, recognition, and power. And I'm not saying that success is bad. That's not what I'm saying. Because you really need to have success. And I can tell you, more than ever today, people are searching. They are looking and they're experiencing insurmountable challenges. Some of you today have come here with heavy hearts. You know you have. But you came looking for some encouragement, something that somebody's going to say that will resonate in your life, that you will take away and by all means take action to do something different in your life. Do something different. One of the things that I tried coaching, my first major was social psychology, and I got a master's in counseling, and I, started that route of counseling individuals, but I got a little like, I can't handle this, because I want you to get well, and I don't want 9 years. I don't want 7 years. I'm sorry, I want you to get well. We're going to do an A, point B, point C, and I want you to move. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Because there's some people that they really don't want to get well. Okay, the friend that calls you all the time with the same problem, the same husband that's still giving him, or the same relationship with a friend or a mother or a sister, and it goes on. Men too. You need help too. I had counseled more men than I thought I'd be another T.D. Jakes saying, men, y'all are free. Because if he did women that are loosed, I said I could do men, y'all are free. Because you need help as well as the women. But we know that we are looking for success in many, many different ways. How many people in this room would say, I'm successful? Be honest. Okay, great. But there are other things that come with success. Unconditional love, some joy, some peace. Because oftentimes to be that successful, and I have Ursula said, you got to make 20 calls a day. You got to be sales. You got to be on top of your game. You got to be doing it. Am I telling the truth? You got to be networking. You got to be working so many hours a day to get that $1 million that she talked about. So, that's not bad. Why? Because as we move up the ladder of success, we need money to be significant. Who wants a broke? I just get real. But if you're broke, we have no use for you, right? Because you can't give what you don't have. So one of the things, next slide, that I talk about, and this I put in my slide because last night, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few years ago, in fact it was last year, the Wall Street Journal talked about in the United States for the first time, we had the highest rate of people who are dying early. Why are people checking out of here? Stress. Why? Stress. What is it? Stress because they want less? Or stress because they want more? And everything is about more. More money. And the more you get, the more it seems to get away from you, right? Yep. Or you're hanging on to it. I have a friend, and I know she won't mind me saying this, because I don't know if she's here or not, but you know, somebody grieving, he was just, so traumatic. Because deep, when 2008, remember when the market went down and things went down, he was so grieved because he only had $445,000 in his checking account. So, what about the search for significance? What happened to me was, I was at the top of my game. I've been on a number of boards, national boards. And it's funny, I always just wanted to be on a local board. But my first board appointment was the National Respiratory Care Board. Then I went to the National Institute for the Minority Health Board. Then I was invited to be a member of Leadership America. I became a board member of Leadership America, and I became the head of the board, which was quite a job. That's where I met Hillary Clinton and a lot of high-profile women from corporate and Fortune 500, Fortune 400 companies. Also at the time, I'm at the top of my game because I went on a cruise, and that little cruise ended up with me being invited to Kenya. When I got invited to Kenya to be a speaker, they asked me would I come and speak to women. Oh, I love women. Oh, I'm so thrilled to be able to talk to women. And guess what? They switched on me. When I got there to Nairobi, Kenya, and I was on newspapers, I was on television, I was in adverts, they call them. American motivational speaker comes to Kenya. I was like, what? And so, I mean, really, I had been on that cruise. I had re-careered. Say re-careered? Re-careered. I'd given up 37 years in higher education, I had re-careered and I got invited on this cruise. On that cruise was Johnny Cochran, Susan Taylor, Michael, now I can't remember his name, and his wife, Marcia Diaxon, Michael Diaxon, Marcia, all these high-profile people on this networking professional cruise. Well, I'm going on the cruise, I'm re-careered. So I'm supposed to stand up in front of everybody and say, I'm Dr. Barbara Young, I'm re-careered. When everybody else is saying, I'm a doctor, I'm a poet, I'm an author, I'm an attorney, I'm this. So my girlfriend said, you can't do that. You have to say you're a motivational speaker. You've been speaking, and you motivate. She ran to Kinko's. Everybody knows what Kinko's is? She went to Temecula, Kinko's. Got me some cards that said, Dr. Barbara Young, motivational speaker, and a post office box. I didn't have a DVD, I had nothing. So, in the salon, with 350 people there, looking at me like you are when I stood at the podium to say who I was, and after all these people had gone up and said who they were, you know what I mean? And you're thinking, oh my God, I'm re-careered, and all these high-profile people. So I got up. I am Dr. Barbara Young, and I am a motivational speaker from California. Speak the words, and the universe will deliver it to you. I ended up being invited as a result of that cruise, and a person heard me. She was visiting, she was on that ship, had made that trip alone from Nairobi, Kenya, celebrating her 40th birthday. Here's another part I think we miss sometimes. Sometimes your blessings are right in front of you, but you miss it because you're looking at the wrong person. Everybody on that ship ignored her because she was from Kenya. She didn't really have a big title, but she was one of the richest women in Nairobi, Kenya. I would always see her, and she'd say, oh, you look so lovely. And I'd say, oh, so do you. I love that outfit. And so that is the person that invited me to Nairobi, Kenya. She said, would you come to Kenya to speak to the women? A lot of professional women, they would love to hear a motivational speaker from America. I said, I would love to come. How many of you have heard how people ask you to do something or come somewhere you never hear from them, you can't? So I figured, though. Do you know 3 months later I heard from her? And she said, would you come to Kenya? And could you come in December? Well, at the time, I was an adjunct professor at one of the CSU campuses. So I wrote back. I was in shock. I wrote back and I said, well, I can't come in December. She said, could you come in May? I said, ooh. So I called my best friend, who was a congresswoman, and she said, I can't believe this. I've been invited to Kenya to speak. And she said, well, call my cousin, and she can be your PR person. You know the drill, Robbie. You get your friends. So all of a sudden, she became my PR person. And so they were negotiating back and forth, back and forth. And so they said, we want to do an article on you in True Love magazine. And so they did the interview and all this. I had no idea. So when I get over to the airport, long story short, all these people with signs welcoming me to Nairobi, Kenya. But I had no idea that they were expecting governmental members of parliament and Fortune 500 CEOs. And not only did I have them for a day, but I had them for 2.5 days. Now, Ursula knows, so do you, that we can stand here and we can entertain you for an hour. But you tried 2.5 days. You better have something. I'm the Minister of Transportation, the Minister of Home Rule, and the woman who was the Minister of Transportation in the country. Oh, if you've been to one of these seminars, you've been to them all. I said, oh my God. I went in the bathroom and I literally cried. I said, God, you got the wrong person. I literally meant, I was crying, I was looking in the mirror. This voice, truly, I heard him say, it's not about you, it's about me. That began And I went out, and I said, okay, you got to show your stuff. And I went out and stood before 35 world leaders. That launched me to 2015, traveling the continent of Africa, Senegal, South Africa, Abidjan, Benin, and working and invited by ambassadors. One of the things, anybody from Senegal here? Know anybody from Senegal? Well, I didn't do my homework because I got invited by the ambassador, the president, to come to Senegal and speak and kick off USA Week in Senegal. And I didn't do my homework, Robbie. I didn't know the country was 99% Muslim. So I was prepared to talk about transforming your success journey. And it was, yes, scripturally based. And so anyway, all is well. I went in dancing to BB and CC Winans. Anybody heard of that team? So I went in dancing to BB and CC Winans. I had them dancing, and all is well. And I got invited back to speak to the embassy staff. So I'm telling you that when we start to think about where we move and how sometimes significance puts itself on us, I realized that there was a calling on my life and that I was obligated to give back. Something we talked about, what would you give to people if you had no monetary gifts? You can give of yourself. You can give of your wisdom. You can give of your talents. And that's what I did in all these countries. And I'm privileged and honored to say, I never even told a lot of people in the United States about it. Because one of the things that I learned, when you're moving from success to significance, it's not about sharing and boasting what you do. It's about doing. Amen? Because there is one person I know who's keeping count. So for many of you in here, we know who's keeping count. And so you don't have to worry. And you keep being blessed and blessed. Because moving from success to significance first is knowing within you that you are successful. So I had these questions last night, and I know I kind of deviated a bit, but are we just too busy to notice that we are dying every day? You know, life is not promised. This morning, Michelle Patterson, our speaker, was to be here, was in an accident. But praise God, thank you, that she's okay. But there's a possibility. We've had friends, we know. Life is like a vapor. And when I began to realize that, how many people feel that pain of emptiness, but they never tell anybody about it? They never tell anybody. Because we truly, many of us have defined success and happiness about professional or financial achievement. And to find out it really doesn't bring all of that to us that we thought it would. We climbed that ladder. And the most fascinating thing that I experienced just a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, was to be in the presence of billionaires and millionaires. I mean, truly. And I was with them for 2.5 days, listening to them talk, listening to them share their stories. And story after story was about giving back to others. It was not about, I started my business because I wanted to make money. I actually left a business because I had a passion about building homes for the homeless. I had no idea it would end up being a worldwide event that would bring millions of dollars. And everyone who talked about serving and giving back. I was like, oh my goodness. Next slide. Wow, I was so impressed. And how many of you know that to be true? So we're moving from success to significance. I want to ask many of you, have you thought about what are you going to be doing the rest of your life? Have you thought about it? Do you have an action plan? Are you always responding to crises? And some people will tell me, Dr. Young, I just can't seem to walk my talk. And I'll tell you 2 things that'll keep you from walking your talk and keep you from moving to success to significance. 1, busyness. Your life is so jam-packed, so full of busyness that you don't have time. You literally don't have time. How many of you know I'm telling the truth? Do you know that time was invented by God? And we're supposed to rule time. It's not supposed to rule us. How many of you know that? Woo! So, what I came up with, and that I wanted to leave you with this today, because I said Dr. Young is not going to ramble on today. This is definitely going to be succinct. I came up with the 3 C's. 3 C's. My blueprint for redefining success. And I hope you'll take this away, because the 3 C's, these must be significantly aligned. I do believe in your life to be significant, and that's what I learned. Your core. Now, you've heard people all the time, they would say, and many of these millionaires would say, you need to know who you are. You need to know what matters. You need to know your values. How many of you know your values? I can prove that you live your values. Just a little digress a moment. I went over when I was in Kenya, which blew a lot of these guys away and gals, members of parliament, because I said, okay, we're gonna do something. I call myself somewhat of a surgeon more than a coach or motivational speaker. I am a surgeon, because I'm gonna cut you open and we're gonna go deep. That's the only way, because we got to get to the root. Who are you really? You are not your job. You are not the man who married's wife. You are an individual with a purpose and a plan. But can you tell somebody who you are in 30 seconds? So I said, what do you value? So I said, okay, let's do this little value exercise. So I said, I want you to list your top 5 values. They all did dutifully, because one thing when you go in these foreign countries, they want action. They want to be engaged. You can't just sit up and talk to them. They got to be engaged. Working and doing something. So I said, all right, I want you to write down your 5 top values. Then I went to the easel. I said, okay, 5 top values. Let's see what commonalities we have in the room. Guess what was number 1? Anybody take a guess? Number 1.
Of those people?
Yeah. What are their values?
Hard work.
No. No.
Success.
No. No. Spirituality. God. That's what they had, number 1. Number 2, family. Number 3, health. Number 4, career. Number 5, relationships. Okay, now, I gave another paper. Okay, there's a circle. Now I want you to fill in that pie chart with the percentage of time you spend on your top values. How much percentage of time do you spend with spirituality, with God, with praying, with meditation? How much time do you spend with family? It was shocking. You see, you'll never change anyone until you see, that person sees there is a need to change.
Yeah, that's right.
So they were like, oh, looking at me and defining who they were outside of, I'm the president of this, or I'm the minister of this, defining themselves as to who they really are. So when the newspapers hit and television cameras came, they said this was like a spiritual experience in being able to participate and find out who they are. So the blueprint is you've got to know your core. And it has to be in alignment. This is who you are. How many of you know who you are, what your mission is, and what you stand for? Do you have a personal credo that you live by? If you don't, you need to develop one. And how you develop one is looking at, what is my personal mission? What is my personal mission statement? I have one. And I can have you back into it, if you will, if I could do the exercise. Pretend you're going to a funeral. You drive up in the parking lot. It's full of cars. You hear the soft music coming out from this big church. You walk into the church, and you see all these people that are gathered there. And you look at the front of the church, it's this coffin. And you go up, my goodness, who is it? And you look, and it's you. There are 5 people that are going to speak on the program. Your husband, your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your colleague at work, and your best friend. What would they say about you? What final words would they have to say about you? Has anybody ever done this exercise? You've done it. How many? Raise your hands. Great. Now, that backs you into what? Your personal mission statement. Because these are the things you want people to say about you. That's how you're going to live your life. And I have one that I pull it out every now and then to see and look. But this is who I am. And I make no apologies for who I am. I don't feel any better than anybody else. I feel very significant in what I've done. And it doesn't mean that I think of you or any of you less. What I'm going to do is re-empower you. Because you're already empowered. Capacity. This is about how you're showing up in each area of your life. I like Robbie says, just show up. Show up. That's building your capacity. It's realizing and maximizing your potential. And the context is, where are you working towards your calling and purpose? Do you need to move cities? Sometimes people will say, you know what, Dr. Young, I really need to move up the ladder. You know, I haven't gotten promoted. I'm just really dismayed. I'm just in a funk. And I said, is it that you want to move your job or you want to switch your life? Ask yourself that question. So where are you working towards your calling and your purpose? Do you know what it is? Do you know how many women I've had to help them find their purpose? Anybody, any other coach in the room had to do that? Help them find their purpose? I hope you had a unique way of doing it, because a lot of people don't know. And for those of you who know how, I want to know how I do it. Now, I've given a lot of secrets away that people pay me millions of dollars to get. No, I literally give it away. I do. I don't mind. Because the whole point, what, is to help each other. Why are we here? We're here connected, hopefully connected to the hip. Hopefully we'll have more of these connectivity kinds of events where we can share and care and learn. And I'm so happy that I'm like Robbie. I'm still open to learn. Because I think Robbie and I may be the oldest women in the room. I don't mind saying it. I'll be 80 in November. So, you need to line up your core, your capacity, and your context. Are you getting anything out of this?
Yes.
Okay.
How do we find our purpose?
How do you find your purpose? Okay. One of the things I've had to do with many, many people is take them on what I call a regression analysis road. RAR. And what I do is go back. What did you play with when you were a little girl? What did you love to play with? Because nobody chooses your toys for you. And even when they weren't toys, kids were playing with pots and pans. They would take sticks and beat them. They'd find anything. They'd find things, even when their parents were poor. They would find things to play with. Am I telling the truth? That's right. Now, one of my friends just came to me a week or so ago that I took her through this exercise because she was in one of my seminars. And she said, Dr. Young, I don't know, I'm an engineer, and I have this you know, very pragmatic mind, and I don't know what my purpose is. I said, okay, let's take you back. What did you play with as a little girl? She said, well, I played with dolls, and I like to dress those little dolls. I would dress them and make clothes. I said, okay, what about that? Does that resonate with you? She said, yes, it does. Guess what she said to me 2 weeks ago? Dr. B, Dr. B, Dr. B. Most people call me Dr. B. They're jumping up and down, jumping down. She says, I have a place open up in San Fernando Valley. I have my own shop. I'm designing clothes. And I love it, I love it, I love it. Do you know I happen to be sitting at a table with a woman who said, I just retired. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I took her to the thing. What's next for you? But she's only, you know, I was 62 when I re-careered. You know, I was lifting weights at 62. That's why I look so good. sorry. There's about physical, soul, and spirit. You got to keep it all going together, okay? All right, I was lifting weights at 62, doing deadlifts from the floor. Oh! Yes, you go, girl. That's right. here. You know, I had Chuck Desada called it. But anyway, she's the woman sitting next to me. She said, I don't know. She says, but you're kind of like fashion design and clothes. When the woman came over to me and said, Dr. B, Dr. B, Dr. B, guess what? I said, let me grab Joyce, the woman I just met. I put the two of them together. They are now collaborating. That's what connectivity is all about, and sharing and caring. Now, my last strategies, and I could get down on the floor and talk to you on this one. Get down. Because in Kenya, I walk and talk to every table because I like to look at people's faces. You got to fill your own cup first.
Yes.
Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You don't have anything in that cup. And let me tell you something. We women have a habit of pouring it out for everybody else, and we have nothing left for us. We're empty. You got to fill your own cup, and you have to keep it full. And you have to take time for you. You. And I'm telling you, now if I had a cup, I'd show you. Because I did this in Kenya, the woman just fell off. You know, so when I go back, I have a follow-from force. We're filling their cups. Develop a strategy for your life. And it needs to be written. Where am I going? What's next? Some of you are 52. Anybody 52? I feel a 52 in the room. I feel a 55 in the room. So what are you going to do with the second half of your life? Where are you going to spend your time? What's your strategy? You got one? See, I like to look at your faces, and your faces are telling me you don't have no strategies. What's your strategy? You need to be thinking about it. What's your plan? And then, this is important. Many people don't talk about this, but you've got to determine what season you're in. Are you in summer? Are you in winter? You know what I mean when I say winter? It's cold. Things are not going well. It's dark, it's damp, it's cold. Winter season. Get me? What season am I in? You need to identify that, because you need to make a plan how you're going to get out of it. Okay? If you're in debt, get out. Make a plan. Because I bought my retirement house when I was 52. And that's what I said about strategies. And I bought it in an area that I knew that would be prime, would be moving up. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I was planning ahead. The president of one of the campuses said, you bought your house? I said, yeah, it's a vacation house right now, but I'm going to move it. I said, I bought it now because when I get to be 65, I want to be able to pay the note. Amen. And that house is bringing a little profit today. I want you to know. Are you in spring? So you need to determine what's in. And then study what works. Because society always makes a study of what fails, what isn't working. So what works? You know, I just recently went to speak to a group of women, and one of them is here. They were in wheelchairs, they were on crutches, and they were younger than me. So you really have to make plans as to what you're going to do to keep this alive. I'm sharp. You know why? Because as Ursula said, I'm reading constantly. I'm feeding it, and I'm speaking it. I'm speaking words of positivity that I will and I can do. I take risks. Some of you are low-risk takers. I took $5,000 in a dream and stepped off, and 6 months later, I'm in Kenya. I had my first personal life growth development seminar. I booked the Hyatt Regency in Long Beach. I had nobody to invite. I said, I'm having a seminar. They said, how many attendees are you expecting? I said, 35. I kid you not. I had no one to invite. But the miracle of God, I put it out in the universe. 35 women showed up. 35 women showed up. And dressed to the nines. So they say, we know how Dr. Young dresses, and we want to come. But they came because they were hungry. And I'm glad you're here, because you're hungry for information. And that's a good sign. But the most important thing is I pray that you take away today something that's going to move you into that significance level. And all it simply means is helping somebody else. That's all it means. I have changed my whole language. I meet a lot of celebrities. I interview a lot of them. And a lot of them know me. I hate to tell you that because I don't like a lot of limelight. People don't believe that. But I'm so humbled of what God has done in my life. And still doing. And almost 8. And I'm encouraged. I refuse to accept the status quo. I became the status quo. So take action. I am right now because I took action. And elevate where you are in life. But elevate someone else. And let me get back to this because I think the Lord is telling me it's important to say. And what I say now, when I meet someone, and try this, how can I help you? It's amazing. It is amazing, the response. When you go up to a Magic Johnson or you go up to somebody, some celebrity, you're not pushing your cards and promoting you. You're saying, hi, I'm Dr. Barbara Johnson. I know I'm in radio, TV. How can I help you? How can I serve you? You'll be amazed. You will just be amazed. And I want to thank you for listening today. Have a sense of reverence for God because He is my program director. He guides the ship, and I go where He wants me to go, and I say what He wants me to say. And He's telling me to shut up now. You've done enough. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Barbara Young.
I didn't go over time.
You were so perfect, it was amazing. And then when you said it was God, tell me, I looked at the clock and it was right on the money. Thank you so much. Absolutely amazing. Okay, before I release you for a break,